We're back, bitches.
It's been a little while.
It's been a really fucking long time.
It's been less long for the listener,
Well,
but it's been longer for us because the last
Yeah.
episode came out at some point in March, maybe,
was it March?
or February.
Bloody
I can't remember.
hell. Oh, we were doing so well.
Because I had the
we,
Goofs one, because I was just like, we fucked up. I was like, maybe I should record another one of these and be like, we still fucked up, but I couldn't be bothered.
we fucked up. We moved houses, both of us, because you have since moved to. the
I've
big
moved
smoke.
again since I've moved for the second time since we started this podcast.
We've had a lot more terrorist attacks, and we've just had an election. So
Yeah, literally today. By the time
Yes.
this goes out, someone will know the answer.
yeah, we won't. I mean, I have a feeling I know which way it's going to go, and I'm not saying I'm necessarily happy with the way I think it's going to go.
We'll find out, I guess.
Yeah.
One
But
day.
This is
It'll
a
be fine.
this little string of audio is a safe haven from politics, because we don't know shit all about it, and you're probably not allowed to say on account of your job.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. That's probably a thing.
How them missiles coming along?
I don't know.
Yeah, very clever. Yeah, it's been
It's been a
Quite.
hot minute.
quite a long time. So we were, I think, did we leave the last episode saying we'll do Luke Cage and the Wachowski one?
Oh, yeah, probably.
We'll do a
The Goose video is probably all the way through it, just like, this is going to be the next one. I've just gone, nah. It's
Yeah,
not.
that's not what we're doing, probably, as you can tell by the title. But what we did do is I came up to see you in London. We did watch a whole bunch of stuff, and we've not done a podcast about any of it yet.
One of those things we watched was Sense8, though.
Mate, that was... Oof.
Yeah, basically, to summarise, I didn't like it.
I liked, like, a section of it. Like, I liked a character. And I think that's it.
It looks like a good idea, but I just don't care.
Yeah, and I have less to say about Luke Cage, and that's fucking Marvel property, so that's a shame.
Alright, cool. That's off the list then.
Yeah. What else did we watch? Because we
Hey,
watched...
should we just do 2-minute podcasts? Just go watch like an hour of TV. Like in 2 minutes, like, yes, it was alright.
Or just like one word one, so we watch it and then just go, no, or yes.
Yeah.
No, yeah, and then we watched Poldark and Taboo, didn't we? They were really good. I enjoyed them.
And they
so-
they are next.
yeah,
On the list of things.
I will
which
rewatch
I
them.
have.
But then, so we then decided that as a sort of a fresh start, to give ourselves a little bit of like, I don't know, zing.
We
We'd do
actually
something
watched something
completely different.
that was quite recent as well.
Yeah,
Like these are
fairly.
quite new shows.
Well, one of them's still coming out. I don't know about Legion, but American Gods is definitely still on its
Yeah.
airing.
The
As it were.
Legends of God. American Gods is still like, yeah, it's still coming out weekly on the old Amazon Prime.
Oh yes.
And Legion is finished. Season 1's finished.
Oh, has it? Okay. Well, let's start on Legion then. If you want to lead us into it, because this was one of your choices, wasn't it? Legion, and then American Gods was mine.
Yeah, mostly I wanted an excuse to watch another Marvel thing.
See, I heard rumblings that it was a Marvel thing, and then watching it, I was like, it just isn't. And then, like 20 minutes in, someone says mutant, and I'm like, oh, you have my attention.
Did you not notice the X in the logo?
I didn't see the logo
in the O,
until
it
the
has,
end.
it has an X, like the X-Men X in the logo.
Yeah, no, I didn't see the logo to it until like the very end of the episode.
But I really, really liked this. I thought it was so good.
On reflection, I think on a technical level at least, I definitely have to agree with you. So set us up then. What's Legion about?
On the surface, it's about just some mental guy who might have powers. And I think like the first episode doesn't really sort of explain, like until sort of right at the end where it goes like, oh, by the way, there's these guys who've come to save you. But this is, I feel like the first episode is just all set out for like it's got like a bit of his troubled history where quite possibly has probably killed some people accidentally, obviously.
Yeah.
And just introducing like sort of all the characters around him and like the idea of mutants in a world. But I can't work out sort of when it's set. Like if it's set prior to, like where in like, because it is apparently it is connected to the actual X-Men films somewhere somehow.
I do tend to struggle with the whole X-Men
continuity is fucked.
Well, this is the thing, because it doesn't... Like, I watched Logan recently, as I was telling you before we started this. I watched Logan at the weekend, and it sort of exists outside of the X-Men timeline, and I think that's fine, because they spend so long right now, at the end of this one, we reset this timeline, and we'll bring these characters back in, but then you've got the other timeline where it's the younger mutants, and it just gets so confusing and convoluted, but... With films like Deadpool and Logan sort of existing kind of outside those things, I think that works really well. So then it just seemed a bit odd that they were trying to connect in this other TV show.
See, I don't know if it connects like directly or if they're just going like it's
just
in the same sort of place, but it's not quite so like it's sort of the same with like the Netflix shows that they're sort of like, I'll look at these other things that exist, but also, nah.
Yeah, they might not necessarily coincide. It's just they're happening at the same time, or in the same set of circumstances that the other things are working in.
Yeah, and also, I mean, given that the narrator is one of them unreliable sort of types.
And by the way, fucking unreliable.
Yeah, like there are parts where you're just like you. And he openly admits he's just like, yeah, I don't know what happened. I'm just sort of guessing now. It's fine.
Yeah, the first episode. Well, I mean, I say the only episode that I've seen. It's almost just sort of an essay on, like a meditation.
How to write an unreliable relator.
Yeah, on like his mindset. Like, I mean, it starts with his birth, and goes through his which that sequence was absolutely fantastic. I was completely in 2 minutes. You knew exactly what this guy's life had been like through just a couple of sequences of like, okay, here he is as a baby, this is him growing up, this is him struggling to interact with other people, this is him going mad hearing these voices in his head. And in that sense, I thought it was absolutely fantastic. And then you get the section
all the scenes in like the psychiatric unit. Do you know what they remind me of?
Go on.
That middle bit of like Clockwork Orange.
Oh, it's funny you say that. It's the colour palette's very similar, I think.
Also, the hospital's called Clockwork.
And that.
And they wear orange jumpsuits.
Yeah.
So that makes him technically a not chocolate orange.
Whoa.
Clockwork Orange.
Yeah.
And I think I get the feeling they were going for that sort of like Stanley Kubrick vibe with the whole like how the interior of the hospital looks, and then outside it's just sort of like
I mean, as on an aesthetic level, I think it's close to Kubrick, but with the camera movements, that reminded me very, very much of Terry Gilliam's work. If you look at Brazil, there was just one or two movements, or just ways that the camera is being held and the way it's shot is photographed, that it really reminds me of Gilliam's style. Have you seen much of Terry Gilliam's stuff?
No.
Okay.
Maybe, I don't know.
Well, I'm sure everybody else agrees with me.
I'm sure. I think the scene that I like probably the most is the kitchen scene where all the stuff's flying around him. I really like that. That felt very like X-Men.
Yeah, completely. But it's funny you say that, because the rest of the show just absolutely doesn't. Like, if you go into it saying, "Oh, this feels like it's it's supposed to be connected to the X-Men universe," it really does not feel like one of those. It's not a superhero show, is it? It's more just, this is a guy struggling with his mental abilities or incapabilities, as it were.
Yeah, I think it's the same as like, again with like, because the biggest thing to compare it to would be the Netflix shows.
Yeah.
In that you take the powers and stuff out of it, and it's still a really interesting idea. Like, it's sort of
even if it was just all just in his mind and it had nothing to do with mutants, it would still be very interesting. Is that what you
Yeah,
mean?
because it would just you'd have the because mostly it seems like the sort of FBI plot is going to be the thing with like a rebellion of sorts, I guess. So it's almost got like the sort of Fight Club vibe to it, of like the sort of militants, sort of with a guy who can't really be trusted to tell you what's going on.
Yeah. Oh, it's funny you say that. I've read something about Fight Club today.
Yeah, I was reading about it because I read like a thing about unreliable narrators and examples of them.
Yeah, it's not like Fight Club. How it's a complete allegory for someone struggling to admit to himself that he's gay, and I read that one sentence and I thought about the entire film. I was like, that absolutely works. It's incredible if you read it that way. And I didn't realise that Chuck Palahniuk, I think, is actually gay himself. That might be complete bollocks, but yeah, no, it's interesting that comparison's come up again. Because I just read it. But no, that's a good thing to sort of compare it to, I think. We had to have a little edit point there, didn't we? There was someone at your door.
Yes.
If you weren't so neighbourly and agreed to take parcels from people, we wouldn't have this sort of bullshit.
I know, but I'm nice. See, that's me being an unreliable narrator. See, the segue back in was good.
It would have been had you not pointed it out.
Yes.
But I think the thing with and I imagine this is gonna carry on for the duration of the show, is the entire possibility that at any given scene, any given sentence, any given word, any given second in that show is the imaginings of a lunatic. So I think that could provide some quite interesting scenarios where perhaps like there's a scene that happens and you see it as is presented to you, and then later on he goes, oh, it's not quite how it happened, and then he goes back and changes something, but it keeps repeating and just until you've got a completely different sequence of events.
Which it was like the memory thing, wasn't it, where they had he was remembering for them, and then Sid was just like, hey, I'm here now.
Yes, yeah.
Also,
again,
fucking
brilliant.
love Emily Browning.
Is that her?
No, I think she's in one of these two.
She's in American Gods.
Yeah, she's in American Gods. Fuck.
Unlucky, mate.
But I mean, it still stands. It's just not relevant.
But the character plays... the actress plays Sid.
I can't remember who she is.
Or...
I remember I looked her up and just went, I have not seen anything else you've done. Oh no, I was looking up somewhere else. Is it that one? Or is that one?
Aubrey Plaza?
No. She plays
Lenny.
the one that dies very quickly.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Spoilers.
It's not that quickly. It's about sort of
halfway
towards
through.
the end. Yeah. That bit was terrifying, by the way. We need to talk about that. The part where they're in the psychiatric unit and the doors disappear and become solid walls. That was terrifying.
I was really confused. I think I wasn't paying like full attention, and then I was just like, wait, there's
what's
used to
going
be
on?
Doors.
Yeah, no, that was genuinely. I was like, oh god, that's terrifying. When she just appears like just stuck. It was like it made me think of splinching from Harry Potter when they try and apparate.
It reminded there was something. I can't remember. There's a film that I've seen that something like that happens. I think it's normally like something coming out of a mirror or something like that. But like that was really cool. Like that whole sequence of like where you're like, oh shit, he's done murder, and then it's just like, oh no, but like when I kissed her, and then it's like the whole like universe expanding thing, and it's just like, because then I think they start that scene off with him in it,
yes,
and then it just switches to Sid, and you're just like, and obviously he does the first thing any man would do, which is just go,
boop. That's the point. Actually, there were some genuinely funny moments in it, like when David thinks he sees the chap who's interviewing him get out the car. He basically just goes, no, dude, you're fucking wrong. You're dead fucking wrong. And he goes, okay, you don't have to be a dick about it, but I guess I was wrong.
Yeah, and I really liked it. And enough that I was just sort of like, while I was waiting for you to turn up for this, I was reading about like the comic book character that obviously this is based on.
Is
Who
this
the
your
fuck-
this your big reveal?
No. That's
Oh, okay.
that's an American Gods. That's fine. That,
In American
we'll wait for
Gods. Oh, okay. Now I'm interested.
that. Yeah, I've got a thing for American Gods.
Okay.
But like the actual character Legion is really cool. I'd never come across him apart from he is in comics I've read, and I
Yeah.
had no idea.
No, I think that's the same with me.
And he's
Not familiar
he's
with him.
the son of one Charles Xavier,
Is
And-
he?
a woman that he met in a psychiatric ward.
Oh, no wonder he's so messed up then.
He is also an omega level mutant.
A mutant?
Yeah, so he's like omega level, which means like nutty powerful.
Do you know? I think I might have known that he was.
And in the comics,
Son.
he is like diagnosed like paranoid schizophrenic. So he has all these like multiple personalities that all control different powers.
Oh wow!
So he's got like the telekinetic power, obviously. And then
I'm assuming
he's
he
also
gets.
got like
Sorry.
yeah, and as he like progresses, he develops more. Like as his character evolves through the comics, he develops more personalities with more powers. I think there was a list somewhere of his powers. Oh no, there's a list of his personalities. There's like one of the numbers here is like 993. So there's one, my favorite, which is personality 898 is a centaur.
762 is a
actual-
pirate. I love
So
that.
some of them have like actual physical changes to his body and stuff.
Oh my god.
So some of them are just probably like fun, like that would be funny. Have you got to the bottom of this? There's a Cthulhu-like creature.
I know. I've just read it and now I'm like, oh my god, how have I not known about this guy?
But so some of them, he has stuff like super speed and stuff, which is so he's basically like OP. He's basically Superman,
Yeah.
but also
Cooler.
is properly mental. So because like
Oh,
one of his
wow.
original personalities is a terrorist who he accidentally killed when he was surviving a terror attack and absorbed his psyche.
Oh my god.
It's a really cool story, and I was just like, how have I missed this?
That's it's an amazing idea for a character, isn't it? It gives you sort of, unlimited possibilities with it.
Yeah, because you have like all of this strength, and then you just go. Also, there's one massive crippling weakness: is that every single one of his powers is a different personality vying for control. So
It's kind of like Split in that sense.
yeah, I need to see that actually. I still need to see that.
It's very, very good. I did enjoy it.
But
Um,
I'm definitely going to watch the shit out of the rest of this.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yeah, I really liked it. And I want to know where it goes, because it's left on sort of like a. Okay, so everyone's like, you're a mutant. He's just like, maybe I'm not crazy. And it's like, no, you're still crazy.
You're just. I mean,
But now you're free.
that the final action sequence is done in. Well, it looks like it's done in one take. I'm not sure if it is. Perhaps it is, but that was incredible when the other mutants just turn up and just beat the crap out of all the guards.
Yeah, it was. I really liked it, and I overall I quite liked the show. I like that it's sort of. I quite like that it's quite difficult to follow and fully understand what's going on
Yeah.
until you get to sort of like towards the end of the first episode. Just like I was sat there, just like, this is I don't understand. I mean, I like it looks pretty, but what is going? And then it got to the end, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that sort of actually all makes sense now. That's cool.
Yeah, it's a bit of a struggle to start with. Like I have to admit, I was sort of really struggling to keep up with it, and I think you're absolutely right on a technical level. The way it's shot, and I think Dan Stevens' performance is incredible as David.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's probably a reason there's only like 8 episodes or 6 episodes.
Because you can't deal with that.
Yeah, well, considering they're over an hour long as well.
They are, aren't they? They are quite a lot. I did
It's
feel
like
it
60,
as well.
68. Yeah, I was sort of getting towards the end. I was like, how much longer is it? Because until you get what's going on and how sort of the story is revealed to you, it feels sort of like, oh, can this just be over now? And then once it clicks, you're just like, I was just like, oh, cool, I want to. It was very hard not to just watch the next one, but I also wanted to come to this only having seen the first one.
Yeah.
So I couldn't just do my normal thing of, yeah, I've watched like all of it, so.
That's interesting. It makes a change, I suppose.
I know. It's because a lot of the stuff we've done is stuff that I just want you to watch.
Yeah, that's kind of true, I suppose. I think that's what we try and make it a bit more like stuff we've neither of us seen.
Yeah. Season 3, mate. Season 3.
Yeah, but then we do run the risk of watching some utter dog shit.
Entourage, just saying.
Oh, don't. I
Also, but before we get too far, there's a Bollywood scene. And
oh yeah,
when you were
that
watching,
was...
you just sent me a message. Just said Bollywood ? Question mark? Question mark? Question mark? Question mark?
Oh, I sent you a couple of texts while I was watching it. A man looked something up.
And
oh yeah, there was a bit where her head appears on the back of a bald man's head, and I text you Quirrell. But no, I'm not sure. I'm really not sure about Legion. Like, I really did enjoy it, but I'm not sure that I could deal with having my mind messed with that much for like the first half of an episode for it to then clear up, kind of. But I don't know. I might continue with it, but I don't really tend to watch a lot of telly anymore. I don't really have the time.
Yeah. Apparently, the cinematographer who filmed it had never seen any X-Men films.
Really?
And still hasn't, apparently.
Oh, well, that's good. Well, I suppose it helps him keep it completely separate. You know, just make it very, very different to make sure it, you know, so that they it distances itself.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'll definitely watch probably the first season and then see how I feel for season 2. If the whole first season has like a good payoff at the end, then I'll be happy and I'll probably keep watching it.
Yeah, I might do. I mean, I'd like to.
Because I like things with flashbacks.
Yeah, you fucking do. And a flash
Especially
forward.
now that Arrow's to the point that it can no longer flashback because they'll be flashing back to season 1. So I'm gonna have to get my flashback fixed somewhere else.
Have you ever watched Lost? Just watch Lost.
No, I've heard the ending's kind of jank.
Yeah,
so,
that's what I've heard too. Shall we move on to American Gods?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't know if you know that American Gods is
Based on a comic book?
No, it's not based on a comic book. It's
It's
based on a novel.
On something. I know it was based on something.
Yeah, it's based on a novel by Neil Gaiman, and it also happens to be one of my favourite books.
Ah, I see.
Absolutely love that book, and I listened to the audio book, so it's not technically reading it, but you know, the idea is that I know the story quite well. Like, I've listened to it a couple of times, and it's I saw they were making a TV show, and I was like, this is absolutely brilliant. I cannot wait for it. And while I was reading it or listening to the book, I was thinking, there is one person that I want in this show, and that's I want Ian McShane to play Mr. Wednesday. And then I saw the cast list, and it was Bob on, and I was like, I am so fucking happy. And then to make it better, the showrunner is Brian Fuller, who did Hannibal, which was another one
Hannibal's
of my favourite TV
pretty
shows.
good.
So basically, American Gods is it's the idea that when America was found by the initial settlers, they obviously had developed their own religions in their homeland, and as they came across the sea, they brought their gods with them. So the idea being that the old gods have been in America since it was found, but since then they find that people are not believing in them anymore, and completely forgetting about them, and new gods like media and television and stuff like that become more prevalent
Yeah,
and therefore more powerful. I think
the technical guy, don't you?
Yeah,
in episode 1.
I don't think you find out his name because I seem to remember in the book he doesn't reveal who he is.
I mean, Wikipedia tells me who he is.
Okay, well that's.
It's fine.
good.
I've only scrolled down as far as episode 1 and the title of episode 2. Don't worry.
So basically, yeah. So start of the episode, we meet. Well, the first thing you see is the Vikings coming to America, and I'm not sure how well it came across, but that ceremony that they do, where they're trying to get the sand to drift across the beach, is they're trying to summon Odin, and they end up succeeding.
Get some sweet wind.
Yeah, I tell you what, that was an amazing fight. There's a lot of blood, wasn't there? But amazing fight sequence to start off with. So then, cut forward.
It's a very visceral show.
Oh, completely. So they cut forward to sort of modern day, and we meet Shadow, who is in prison. I don't think you know why he's in prison just yet, do you?
No, but
Okay.
that guy, Ricky Whittle, right? I've got some knowledge.
Was he in Hollyoaks?
He was in Hollyoaks. He also is one of the notable graduates from
No.
Southampton Solent University.
Oh shit! Oh, that's amazing. I went to the same fucking uni as Shadow Moon. I'm fucking well happy with that.
See, that's what I've been waiting all this time to tell you.
Oh my god, that's incredible. So obviously Solent being where we went to uni is where we met. So that's amazing.
So this is now part of our friendship.
Oh, that probably means a lot. I'm really, really, really pleased with that. That's so good. Oh, it's my favourite book as well. One of them. Oh shit, that's so good. Anyway, I'm gonna get back to talking about it now. Basically, Shadow's in prison, and he's due to be released in 5 days, while this storm is brewing around the prison. And how many days is it? Anyway,
So he gets released 3 days early, I think.
Yeah, a couple of days early. He's called into the warden's office, and they say, "We're releasing you early. Your wife is dead. She was in a car crash." So
Don't they bring it? They sort of go, "I've got some good news and some bad news."
yeah, it's like, oh, I probably
Good
don't
news,
phrase it.
you're
like
going home. Bad news, it's going to be an empty home.
So then he starts. He goes back to his hometown to bury his wife, and on the way there, he meets a man on a plane who introduces himself as Mr. Wednesday, and he agrees to start working for him, and it sort of goes from there. They
Oh, I've just read the spoiler in the cast list because it's Mr. Wednesday, and then it just
Oh
tells you.
no! Don't say it. Oh, that's gutting. I mean, you kind of it's quite early on that you sort of twig that that's what's going on.
I mean, it makes sense. I figured that much out. I just didn't know
Yeah. So
exactly what and who.
So basically, what American Gods is this really long, meandering novel about Shadow going from town to town, traveling through America, and it's about the people and the gods that he meets on the way. I think that's why it really spoke to me. Is because it's the trek across America. That's been something that I've wanted to do since I was a kid. And then you throw into the mix, all these
Some
gods. There's an amazing. Actually, this is completely. It's probably not going to be in the show because it wasn't even in the book. There's a deleted scene in the book where Shadow goes to a bar and he meets this trucker guy, and he's got a trucker cap on, really long hair, and a beard, and he sat there with a glass of wine. He starts drinking it and orders a water. And Shadow's like,
it's
"What's going on?"
Jesus.
So yeah, so he gets this glass of water and turns it to wine, and he sees Shadow's looking at him, gives it to Shadow. So try that then. And Shadow tries it. He's like, "Yeah, it's all right, but what is it?" And Jesus gets really upset. He's like, "I can never make good wine."
That's awesome. I love that.
So tell me what you thought of the first episode of American Gods.
I was a little bit confused.
I was gonna say, because knowing
it's-
what's going on, I was watching it thinking, this is mental if you don't know what's happening.
Oh yeah, I was just but I was really enjoying just the character stuff.
Mm.
Like, Shadow's character is pretty cool. I was like, damn, you look like someone who went to a university that I went to. With your, like, American accent. Weird.
Which isn't that
But-
great. It's alright.
It's better than it being the other way around. Better than an American doing a British accent.
That's
Just,
true.
just throwing that out there. But no, because like you only meet like 2 or 3 characters, I think, in like the first episode. Because you meet the leprechaun guy,
Mad Sweeney.
Wednesday,
Yep.
Ricky, and his best mate's wife, who's just like, I know we're at a funeral, but come on now.
Yeah, it's a bit.
It's a bit weird.
Yeah. Audrey is her name.
Ah, okay, I see. But no, and I was just like, okay, cool. And then they had the weird techno rave car that turned up with like his faceless goons. I was like,
Yeah.
I remember him signing up for this.
It does get a bit mental. Like, it's a very, very strange book. It's a very strange story.
Yeah, I can imagine. It was good. I enjoyed it.
Oh, good. I'm really glad, because I was worried that I was like watching it, and I was like, oh no, what if you just watch it? Yeah, this is just a load of shit.
Well, because it's one of those things where like I had the same thing. Like, I want to watch both of these for 2 very different reasons. One, like, I want to watch Legion like more because I've got a taste of some payoff with like the whole him finding out maybe he's not entirely mental, and I want to see where that goes. But with this, I just want to know what the fuck's going on and where it goes. Because like at the end, there's all the faceless goons who try and hang him. Well, the hanging fails,
Yeah, the children.
which doesn't
Yeah.
make sense, and then all the bad guys get murdered in what I can only imagine is about 400 cans of red paint.
But you don't see who.
And you don't see who, and I
Does
want
it-
to know
Oh,
who's
okay.
looking out for him.
I know who it is.
Well, obviously. But even Wikipedia is calling him an unknown assailant, so I'm digging this. I really don't want to scroll down on this page, because that has fucked me over before. That's how I found out who killed Joffrey.
Oh yeah,
Accidental scrolling.
yeah, and then accidental telling me to my fucking face.
Oh no, that was entirely on purpose. I was pissed off that I had it spoiled. So I was like, how do you make yourself feel better about that? I know, spoiler for other people. But no, this looks good. What I might do though is I might wait for it to all finish airing
and then do it in
and then
the big hit.
sort of do it in like a couple of sittings.
Mm.
Because I feel like that would be the best way to view it, because then you don't have the... I don't want to try and figure it out. I just want to be told, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Okay, you don't want the whole sort of speculation part.
Yeah, because I feel like the speculation part for this wouldn't be as interesting as it could be for other shows. Because it's not like... It doesn't seem like a super big mystery. It sort of seems like just an unravelling show.
Yeah, that's a very good way of putting it. Like, there are certain things in it where it lends itself to mystery, but and there are parts of it that even like when I was reading it, I was like, well, having it read to me, or whatever. I was like, I just don't get what's going on. But what I really like is just I think it might not be with each new chapter, but with each section of the book. Anyway, there are these regular intervals where you see the story of someone's journey to America. So there's one of the Vikings turning up. There's one of I don't know where he's from. He's from Asia.
Oh, is
And-
this sort of stirring up the old gods all being in America?
Yeah. So there's one of it like a cab driver trying to make ends meet in America, and he meets a god while he's there in New York. There's one of
Do you reckon
like,
that would be
slaves.
how they would start each season?
Yes, well, I think that's how we're going to start each episode. Is they're going to do like a Coming to America story and then go into the whole Shadow and Wednesday stuff.
That makes sense.
I mean, I imagine that's what's going to happen.
Unless they do it like every like 4 episodes,
Well, they
so
could
then
do,
give
but
you
how many episodes are there?
8 per season. It seems.
Okay.
So in
It
2
could
more
work.
episodes, I can start watching this. But no, it was good. I properly. I think with Legion, I properly enjoyed the whole episode, but with this, I'm enjoying the prospect of where it will go and seeing where it goes. And I might have to get some sweet audiobook itch.
Oh, it's a superb audiobook. Like it's not quite fully cast performed, but it's just got different actors doing the voices. So it is the text as prose, but they do have
with
different people.
voices and stuff.
Yeah, but the guy who voices Shadow's got the coolest voice. And actually, same for Wednesday. That's what made me want Ian McShane to be in it, because I thought it was Ian McShane, to be quite honest. But no, I obviously I'm going to be watching more of this because it's based on like one of my favourite stories I've ever heard, and I'm really looking forward to. There's some bits in it that I'm thinking, how are they going to do that? Well, I can't wait.
Well, I guess in like our roundup of the year that we will get to at the end of the year, we can maybe have a little retrospective and see how you felt the season was.
Yeah, no, that would be good actually.
Or we can just throw it in any episode we fancy, because
whenever I finish it.
yeah.
Oh shit! What was I going to say? Fuck. I can't remember what I was going to say. Oh, the other thing about having the novel. I mean, I've just realised what I'm about to say might be bollocks. But what I was going to say is, because the novel has a definite, beginning, middle, end. I think it might be quite refreshing to know that the story is going to be ending, because where you've got Game of Thrones, where it's based on however many books, it sort of meanders and they change things, and it'll, they quite make some quite drastic changes. I'm really enjoying, like, I like knowing things have like a sort of an end point,
a definite end.
Yeah.
Because I spoke with this, it's obviously it's based on a book, it can only go so far, unless they do start like adding extra bits into it.
Well, what I think might happen. I've not read up anything on it because I just want to watch it. But what I think they may do is change some of the new gods. So I think there might be a god of the internet and social media and things like that, rather than, because I think written in the 90s.
Expand it out and then.
Yeah. But then
that would be pretty interesting. I suppose it would still have its sort of resolution at the end.
Although there is a spin-off book, which is about one of the gods that we're yet to meet, actually. So they might do that depending on how well this does. But I hope this gets to end, because it'd be nice to have Brian Fuller manage to finish this, because obviously he didn't get to take Hannibal as far as it deserved to go, and how far he wanted it to go.
I think it needed 5 seasons. Hannibal needed 5, I think.
I've still not finished the 3rd series.
Did you get to Red Dragon though?
Yeah. I've got the book because I'm going on holiday in a couple of days, and I've got both Red Dragon and Silence of the Lambs to read when I'm away. But I got to the bit where I found out who Red Dragon is, and he's doing the mental stuff where he's trying to be a dragon.
Yeah.
It kind of made me laugh.
Yeah, but Thorin though.
Yeah.
Like he
play.
followed Thorin with that, and I was just like, oh damn, you good.
Do you have anything more to say on American Gods? Will you be continuing?
Yeah, I'll binge it at some point.
Yeah, cool.
Probably once it's finished airing, I'll probably binge it and then see how I feel for season 2. Although I did just watch the end of season 2 of Gotham after not rating the first season that highly.
Oh really?
And it's not bad. It looks like it's actually getting more interesting, because they just did like Court of Owls. Well, no, they introduced Court of Owls. So.
Oh really?
There's some cool shit.
But
it's weird because they've introduced Court of Owls with no actual Batman. So.
But I suppose the whole point, the whole idea of.
They're like old Gotham stuff, aren't they?
Yeah, they've always been there. It's just he's never noticed them.
Yeah, they're introducing that sort of stuff. It's pretty cool.
I think that's it. I think I'm ready to call it a day on American Legion, which sounds like a sort of white supremacist group. It
does. I noticed that when I wrote the title and just went, I dig it. It's fine.
Okay.
It could have been like Legion of Americans, but that's the same sort of thing.
Or Legion Gods.
Yeah, but I will point out that like Amazon Prime are delivering on good shows.
Finally.
Because like there was a long time that I was just like, Prime is no Netflix. But with this and Mr. Robot, that is worth Prime for a year.
I still haven't watched Mr. Robot.
I haven't watched season 2 yet. As I still need to watch the end of season 1 because I'm pretty sure I fell asleep and woke up in season 2 and just went,
I don't know what's
the fuck is happening.
happening.
But no, I'm probably going to continue watching both of these. It's been a very good welcome back show.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's nice to be. It's nice to have a couple of decent things to talk about.
Yeah, which makes a change. Although I think
Our next one is
The
Poldark Dark and Taboo.
I think the next sort of... Actually, I think the rest of, like... The rest of Season 2 is actually shaped up pretty well.
Yeah.
Because skipping the, like, 4 months that we have, there was a lot of filler shows in there. So... But it's alright, I've already started preparing Season 3's list.
Oh, really? Oh, wicked.
Yeah, I'm going to just delete that row, though, because that has...
Oh, yeah.
that had Sense8 and Luke Cage on it still.
Okay, so yeah, as we said, next one will be Taboo and Poldark.
Poldark.
I'm away for a holiday.
Can't wait to watch them again.
So
yeah, this is going to come out when you're on holiday. So when you come back,
okay, we
we've got-
should have.
we still got... I think that's when this goes out. Or it's going out yesterday. Yep, next week, that's fine.
Cool.
I'm glad it's next week.
Okay, so I guess we'll see you then.
Yes.
Toodle pip. I've forgotten how we
Bye.
end it.
We'll just sort of say goodbye and then just one of us just stops recording and just goes, yeah, no, we've stopped.
Oh, okay, nice professional then.
Yeah.
I've stopped recording.
Oh, I haven't.
No,
And I'm just going to leave this in. I'm going to leave this bit in. It's just me just talking to myself.
I hadn't stopped recording. Oh, so now you actually have stopped recording. Okay, I'll stop recording then. Fuck you, Richard, you smell.